everyone, and thanks for signing up for the 12 Fixes to Healthy Challenge program. The benefits of adopting these 12 fixes are immense. You can improve your overall health, strengthen immune defenses, preserve and build muscle, lose excess inches, improve your biomarkers, mental health, focus and productivity, and even protect your thinking skills as you age. So, great job joining this challenge. Now, no matter what you do, I want you to commit to answering the daily and weekly questions till the end of the challenge. And I mean, despite how you do on any given day with the fixes that you're working on and trying to adopt. And I mean, really, if you adopt even one new fix, you will benefit, but every fix you adopt will help you. So in order to get set up for the challenge, the first thing you need to do after downloading and creating an account in the 12 Fixes app is to accept your invitation in the app. Now, you've given me your email and I have used that email to invite you to the challenge, but that doesn't mean won't have an account created in the 12 Fixes app unless you create it. Right. So I didn't do that. I just invited you to the challenge. So be sure to create your account and not assume because I have your email that you already have an account created in the 12 Fixes app. Okay, so once you've done that, you can go and you accept your invitation in the app under the challenge tab. Just click on the app challenge tab at the bottom of the screen to see your invitation. It'll be very clear that it's there. You can even see it'll say join challenge or accept your challenge. Okay. So if there is no invitation, I used the wrong email to invite you, or I made a typo when I was adding your email to the challenge. So I need to invite you with the email you use to download the 12 Fixes app. So many people have multiple emails and I might not have the right one. So please let me know if you don't have an invitation there under the challenge tab in the 12 Fixes app so I can invite you to the challenge in the app using the correct email address. Also, be sure to join our group discussion page to get the weekly recording session highlights and for the upcoming fixes. And on this discussion page, I also share recipes and tips and hints and just give you that daily support. It's also where you can ask questions and support your teammates and share food ideas that are working for you. The link to this discussion page is actually in the 12 Fixes app under the challenge tab. You can see on the screen here that I have, it says go to discussion. You see that right there? Go to discussion. If you click on that, that's actually the discussion page. And it might be something, if you're not on that, you may need to ask to join, or we've already set it up with your company or whatnot. But we need to make sure that you're part of that. So you get that daily support and access to all the training sessions. And I mean, it's just a very important part of this challenge, but it's great because you can actually access it from this app. And so it's under the challenge tab. Notice the arrows here. You do have two tabs at the bottom of this screen. So I'm looking at this is what it'll look like in your app on your phone. And there's a home tab and there's a challenge tab. So go to discussion and your weekly questions will be under the challenge tab. Okay. So, let's see. If you click on that discussion tab, it'll take you to the discussion. Please reach out to me if you're not on the discussion group, and I will make sure that we get you in there. Okay. Even if you don't share all the information in the initial app setup, be sure to take the time to measure your waist. And I mean, measure it level with your navel and your belly button to just have a baseline. Often the weight on the scale will mask fat loss. So it's really important to have that measurement of your waist because it's a much better indication of actual fat weight lost. And so we want to know that, especially as you exercise, you're building muscle, and muscle is heavier. It's compact, but it's heavy and heavier than fat. So, but that's great. We want to replace our muscle, our fat with muscle. So it may not look as good on a scale because that extra muscle weight is masking the fat weight loss that you have. So measuring your inches is a much better way to know how you're doing. Okay, so just have a baseline. You don't you can just do it one time, even at the beginning, and then at the end you can do it then, and then you just really it's a really important thing to do. So I really encourage you all to do that and not to be using that number on the scale as the way you're looking at your progress. In fact, I have so many participants, because of the way that this program is set up, where they'll actually lose inches before they even lose weight. So you want to know what you're really doing. And it's very discouraging when you're looking at the number on the scale and you're not able to see all the fat weight that you're losing. So just do it for me, even if you don't think it's that important. And during the challenge, you can kind of just notice how your clothes are fitting loose or looser, or you can measure if you want during the challenge, but just make sure that you do it the exact same way every time. And that's why I just have you do it level with your navel. Now, if you've experienced eating disorders in the past, I would please message me personally. So the app has two parts. Okay, there's the regular tracking part of the challenge. And these are screenshots of the regular tracking part, which is under the home tab. These screenshots are under the home tab. You can see the home tab at the bottom. There's those two tabs. And notice that the background and that the icons, or the background of the icons, are blue in this. That is the regular tracking part of the 12 Fixes app. And that'll be blue until the day that your challenge starts. And the day that your challenge starts, this is what it'll look like. Okay. Those same boxes become green and gray. Now, this is on week 5 of a challenge. So the fixes that have already been added to the challenge are light green, and the focus fix, or the fix that we're working on that during that week, is bright green. And then the fixes that have not been added to the challenge yet are gray. And as they're added to the challenge, they then turn green. Okay, so that's how it works. And some people I know, before the challenge starts, they're like, I don't know, they're a little bit worried about that, and they don't realize the challenge hasn't started yet. So it'll start on the day that is designated for your challenge. So your progress in the challenge is highlighted in this green bar, so you can see where you are compared to your teammates. Now, I can turn that feature on and off, so you can just see your own progress, right? If you like that, I could turn it off, and then you would just see how you're doing. But I found that even if you're not competitive, it's just really encouraging to know you're not alone. And for teams that are super competitive, it's great. Now, there is a feature where I can show the names, but I would only show the names with groups who everybody wants to be able to see who the other person is. So that's something you'd have to work out with me, when you have your own private challenge with your friends or family. So when the challenge starts, your daily questions pop up when you click the home tab at the bottom of the screen. Now, the challenge will begin with Fix 1 swap sugar, and that fix one will be highlighted in bright green. Most fixes only have one question, but the first couple of fixes do have two questions. So the two questions about fix one will pop up every day of this challenge under the home tab. And then each week, more questions will be added as more fixes are added. So every week, if you're, you'll see some additional questions out of the challenge. Now, you can only answer these daily questions one time per day. Okay, so I recommend that every evening you set a timer so that you can answer your questions, which, really just requires a check, just a click of a box to show that you answered it. Now, it's the reason why I need you to do it at night time is because you can see from one of the questions I have the morning, afternoon, and evening that you have to check off for most of the questions. So since you can only answer the daily questions once a day, you really need to wait until the evening so that you actually know what you've done for the whole day. Okay. So it's super important to the success in this program that you answer these, and it's just a quick question, right? Takes 2 seconds to do. You need to answer these daily questions though. I mean, despite how you do on any given day, it's just seriously by just committing to answering those daily questions every day, you will succeed in this challenge. Why? It's because these questions just keep you on track. They are a reminder, they're accountability that really actually help you, even if you aren't perfect or even if you don't do well. I mean, some days or even weeks you won't do as well. That's real life, right? But if you answer these questions every day, it will keep you going and you will find success in this challenge. So just keep plugging away. That's a super important part of this challenge. And I've noticed that the people that win aren't the ones that necessarily do perfectly. And sometimes they have whole weeks where they have our time, but they keep answering the questions. And then they really realize how well this program can help them adopt the fixes. And they tend to want to do it again so they can reinforce those, just those new changes that they've made. So we want to be sure to set a reminder in your settings. So that little gear in the right-hand corner of your screen, if you click on that, a window will come up and just click on the notification settings and then a clock will pop up and you can click the daily time that you want to be reminded. So set that time in the evening sometime so that you get that daily reminder to answer your questions. And sometimes at the beginning of the challenge, the biggest part of the challenge or the hardest part of the challenge is just to make sure you remember to answer your questions. So set the reminder in this app, and maybe you want to even maybe set another reminder like on Google or Alexa or your phone or whatever to remember, especially that first week, so you start getting the habit of just answering those questions every night because it's quick, right? Like it's not, it takes 2 seconds to answer them. So just do that. And the good thing is that you actually have, if you do forget the first day to answer that question, the next day it'll show up under yesterday, and immediately, like the next morning, if you or whenever you discover that day that you didn't answer the questions, answer them right then, because the day's already passed, and so you can answer for the whole day right then. So go ahead and answer those yesterday questions, because then they're gone. You get a total of 48 hours to answer your questions, and then you never get an opportunity to answer those questions again. And you're building up points with that. But the great thing is that even if you answer those questions 80% of the time, you are getting full credit, like you've answered them 100% of the time. So just showing you that you have some leeway here, and it's helping because that's real life. Like you don't have to be 100% to make a true difference to your health. In fact, doing these fixes 80% of the time is wonderful. You will have major benefits from just doing them. 80%, 75%, 80%. So don't think you have to be perfect in this challenge to be successful. Now, besides the daily questions, there's also weekly questions. So there's just 3 weekly questions in the app under the challenge tab. Remember, there's 2 tabs at the bottom of the screen. There's the home, which has the daily questions, and then there's the weekly or the challenge tab, which has 3 weekly questions. It also will show the leaderboard of where you are compared to everyone else and show your progress. That's where the go to this discussion is. So if you want to, use your app to get to the discussion page, that's fine. Or you can use your regular computer. Either way you want to do that. But there's a lot there. So you want to know that that's under the challenge tab. Now you have all week to answer your 3 weekly questions. Okay. And, but I should warn you though, that you have all week, but once the week is over at midnight, the night before the new week starts, you lose the opportunity to answer those weekly questions. That's over, right? So if your challenge starts on Monday, make sure you've completed them by Sunday night at midnight, before the weekly questions by Sunday at midnight before they are then applied to next week's questions. Okay. And so, the weekly questions will always be there, but they will then apply to the next week. So the 3 questions that you need to answer every week, and you can answer them anytime you want. You can change them. You can, it's not like the daily questions where you can only answer them once a day. You can answer the weekly questions anytime and change them and do whatever you want. Just by the time whatever's on there at midnight before the next week starts, that's what you'll get credit for. So there's the 3 questions, right? Did you attend or watch the recording of the training session? So did you watch the training session? Did you that's one question. You get 20 points for that. Okay. And those training sessions are really highlighting the focus fix for the next week. So I will be adding them to your discussion page, these recordings, these recorded training sessions a few days before the actual week starts, in hopes that you will be able to watch them so that you can then just concentrate on practicing that fix for that week. Okay. But you get 20 points a week for watching that training session. And then we want to, you want to support your teammates. Okay. So you get 2 points a day for simply saying good job or sharing a food idea or, something that works for you to help you adopt the fixes. If you share that with your teammate, like on the discussion page or, in person, whatever, or a text, you get 2 points a day. Okay. So definitely want to support your teammates. That's a total of 14 points per week. And then when you read the corresponding chapter in the 12 Fixes to Healthy book or our manual for this challenge, you also get another 20 points. And that chapter, even if it's just a little of a skim, it can really give you some good ideas. So that's an important thing. And the training session gives you even more ideas and different ideas and some updates that, maybe there's something that's just a new studies come out or whatever. And that's helpful, then I might share that on that. Right. So that's another source of just different ways and really support for you. So those are the 3 weekly questions. Okay. You read the corresponding chapter in the book, watch the weekly training session, and support your teammates, which is important there. Be sure to check it off. It takes 2 seconds to check it off. Right. So it's just a click. Doesn't take a long time. So in summary, you're going to download and create an account in the 12 Fixes app. And then you're going to accept the invitation in the 12 Fixes app under the challenge tab. You're going to ask to join the discussion group. So you can, or if you're not already there, if you've not already been added, so you can view the training sessions and access daily tips and hints and strategies. You're going to answer your daily questions once a day, no matter how you do on any given day or week. You just keep answering those questions. That's the real key to finding success in this program. And then make sure you do that in the evening, that you've set your notification for it. Maybe you need to set another alarm to make sure, just especially at the first couple of weeks where you're getting in the habit of actually answering those questions and taking less than a minute to answer them. It's very quick. Anyway, and remember that those daily questions are under the home tab. Okay. Then you're going to be sure to watch those training sessions and read they're just short chapters that correspond to the fix of the week. So just one quick chapter, and you can skim it. And even when you're watching the training sessions, you can multitask. Okay. But you want to do that before the week starts, if possible, or at least at the beginning of the week. So you really take advantage of practicing adopting that focus fix during the week. A lot of times you might need the weekend to kind of gear up to what you're going to be doing that next week. Like maybe you're going to be doing some, different shopping or whatever, and just figuring out what you're going to be, how you're going to practice adopting that next fix. So it is really good to at least watch the training session before, or skim the chapter, or ideally both, before the week starts. And then you're going to make sure that you check off those on the weekly questions under the challenge tab. You're going to check off whether you watched the recording that week or read the corresponding chapter, and did you support a teammate? And there's like a little box for every day of the week of that week. Make sure you do that before the challenge ends. Okay. At midnight, the night before your challenge, the new week begins, and a new fix is actually added to the challenge. Okay. And then just be sure to support your teammates by asking questions and simply commenting good job on the communication page or the discussion page. If people share things that work for them, is supporting your teammate. And if you sharing things that work for you, that's helping you adopt the fixes, that is really helping to support your teammates. Asking questions is great too. Like just sharing things. And even if it's in person or if you know somebody in the challenge, by all means, in person, text, on a phone call, support each other. So any way you can support the team, you get points, but it's more than that, right? Like it's being part of something bigger than yourself and helping each other, because we're a team, and it's like we really want to help each other succeed, right? So keep answering your daily and weekly questions, and go team. You can do this.